This year I realized that I have far too many clothes, and I bet you can sympathize. I've gone through my closets and got rid of a lot of clothes and learned a lot of lessons, so I thought I would share them with you if you too would like to have a more streamlined wardrobe. So step one in this process was establishing a wardrobe that actually works. And this means that you have only a couple of clothes, a couple of garments that can be easily dressed up, easily dressed down. They go together, you can switch them out really easily and create a lot of outfits with very few garments instead of having a lot of different garments that don't really go together. So this may require buying some new garments so that you can have this nice modularized clothing system, but ultimately you will have fewer pieces of clothing, so it's worth making those extra purchases. Once you've established that garment style, that outfit style that you're going to be using, where everything fits together and there's a lot of reuse of things, you can get rid of everything that doesn't fit within that system. Now, if you're hesitant to get rid of everything, and sometimes it's a good idea to have clothes set aside for costume parties or random events where you might need to dress a little bit differently, it's okay to hold on to some things, but you have to do it within reason. I have found that a great way to do this is to establish a couple of boxes or bags into which you would put this backup clothing and not keep anything that doesn't fit in those containers. This forces you to edit your clothing and only keep a couple of things, which is good because it's so tempting to hold on to stuff. Now, as you're deciding what you would like to keep and what you would like to get rid of, here are some questions to consider. 1. When is the last time you've worn this? If you haven't worn something for over a year, chances are you probably won't need it and probably won't want to wear it anyway. 2. How many times in the past year have I worn this? Even if you've worn something once or twice, it might not be worth keeping on to. Exceptions to this rule, of course, are garments that you might use for things like camping, that you might not do a whole lot, but when you do go, you really do need it. So it's nice to have perhaps a dedicated event clothing box for such specific types of garments. 3, you should ask yourself, is this actually flattering on me? Like, did this dress ever make me look good? I don't know about you, but I've held on to a lot of pieces of clothing and worn a lot of pieces of clothing that I know don't look good on me. I don't know why people do this. I don't know why I did it, but we need to ask ourselves this question more because there's no point in us walking around in clothes that are not flattering. Now, once you've separated out everything you're going to keep and everything you're going to get rid of, you can donate the clothing you get rid of. There are lots of fantastic charities that accept clothing donations, and guess what? They're tax deductible, so you may be getting a little tax refund. But even if you don't, you get to have more space for clothing that actually matters for you, or for other stuff that you want to hold on to, or for nothing, so that when you move or when you die, there's just less junk to deal with. Because no one likes dealing with junk. At any rate, I hope that you found these tips to be helpful. I've certainly learned a lot in my clothing editing process, and I hope that you consider doing the same yourself. It is incredibly satisfying, and it makes life easier, which is always a plus.